Oh, hello everyone, Ito here and welcome back to another week of this Minecraft series. And as you can see, we are flying this week because, I felt like super bad this week. I was with the flu and yeah, we didn't kind of make that much progress on stream. So I did a little bit more of progress outside of the stream, while I was feeling kind of in short bits of time a little bit better, but regardless of that, we made a lot more of progress, so let me show you that right now. So let's start with the things on my back, which are going to be kind of our gameplay area pretty much. So we are going to stay here and we are going to look over these ones, and from this position we are going to play. So that's going to be a display for the challenges. It's kind of how we are going to make progress in the game in a section. Then also we are going to do the same with the quest. So this is going to be standing for longer time than this one. This is going to be a tracker. And then of course we got our character sheet and our coin unique system, which is a little bit like power-ups. You can think of like mana inside of the vault or something like that. So on this one, first of all, we came with this cool system where we used Ender Watcher behind the placard. So if you look at the block, you are going to see that we power the block in itself, and that way we can select the different attribute that we are going to use. And by the way, I went back into the old base, I was rushing there, and I collected the kind of books and power-ups and everything back, so these were the exact same numbers, and as you can see, we got the builder type, the explorer, the fighter or PvPer, the redstoner or technical, and the speedrunner or kind of more of the vaulter there. So these are kind of our 5 type of stats. It's how we are going to measure out how we are going to approach any different challenges that we are going to encounter in a section. And depending on the rolls, if we got lucky, this is going to be higher up and we can spend it to get better results. It's kind of super simple, but now let's get more technical. After a fresh morning of sleep, I got sick after the last trip, so yeah, I needed that. I need to grab this and we are going to jump inside of the vault, and I'm going to show you kind of how I designed the inner parts of this whole system. So just a disclaimer, this is not done, it's still a long more process on the way, but I feel really confident on that everything is going to be simpler to understand than the last one. So let's going to start now with the water power unit. I call it the heart because it's kind of what's going to be pumping the power of the whole system. And you can see right now we are on 90%, so hopefully it's just enough for powering these 3 kind of contraption if you want, which are going to be the 3 different type of dice rollers. So this is going to be the arcane dice, is going to be 1d10, and it's going to be powered by the concrete powder. So of course I got the 10 numbers here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the reason why we are counting like this is because the last one of this one is going to be a 1d16, the challenge dice, and of course, in terms of redstone, when you read from a comparator, you can't go up to 16, you can only go from 0, which is nothing, up to 15. So kind of we scale down all the dices from 1 number lower. It's the same here, 0, 1, and so ever up to the 10, and then of course it's from 0 up to 15. So essentially 15 different numbers, and that means of course I got 10 stacked hopper minecarts here, 10 here, and 16 on this other one. So yeah, the heart is powering how these guys work. It's kind of the same as the old concept, so I'm not going to go super in detail on how they work, but essentially, when you press a button for making this work, I just released for a small timer here, which is exactly 8 ticks of duration, this redstone torch, which then grab 1 item from here, which is random from all the stacked hopper minecarts, send 1 item on the whole chute over here. These guys read which item is that, you know, and then it said, oh, I'm this number, and it actually output that number, and that's everything. And after the extra timer that we need for all the items to cycle back into the barrel, which is in this case the 13 seconds, because that's a little bit longer and it's 16 items. Everything is reset and then we can roll again. So this is kind of a part of the heart, same as this. Or you can also think like these are kind of the lungs. Then we got the spine system, which is the roll and dice system. And because everything is dependent on these different timers. So we press the button, we send the signal over here. We again release the signal once. And then we invert for the 13 seconds. We release the other items and the items went back because right now they are getting pushed upwards. So the items go all the way up and then they are pushing downwards. So let me give you a test. I pressed a button. All the items went once. Now all the barrels are going to be filled one at a time. And as you can see, all the items are ending there. And when the last one came here, which is the 16 slot, all of them are shuffled down, and then every single hover minecarts grab a different type of item. So it's 100% randomizer, and it's super cool and it's fast, so I like it. So I would say over here, making the heart and making the spine, it was super easy because I just went with the kind of plans that I got from my old base and the old system, and I just updated into how they are going to work now. For example, these ones now are counting up to 10, while in the past I made a couple of them 1d6. And the same of this one, I just needed to extend it over because this is a 1d16 instead of just 1d10. But other than that, everything is similar. These numbers are pretty much the same. Of course, I needed to tweak these and these other kind of components there because of the timers are a little bit different. But yeah, everything was kind of super straightforward. And then we made this part, which is the muscles and the bows. And I call it like this because these are kind of a two structural part of the whole system, and that's why I started with the display first. So over here, I just grabbed my old books, and these guys output the signal that it's going to be here. And as you can see, for example, that it's a 3. So if we want to change the builder side for, let's say, oh, I'm going to upgrade my builder stat to 5, you are going to see that immediately we got the 5 there. So easy peasy. We just got a book here that is outputting the signal, but since we added a first blank page, so it's kind of a more of the descriptor, I just needed to subtract 1, and that's the whole signal thingy. So these are the bones because every roll it's working adding these numbers, so I need to have them counted from here. And then we added the muscles, which is the extra part of the system that's going to make everything work. And right now it's super manual. So right now I can show you, if I use the camera, that this is in a 0. But if I use my right click and increase the number, this is going to be automated regarding on the rolls. Let's go to 4, for example. You hear this ding 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 and the lights goes up. But the cool thing is you can go from 0 pretty much. And if you go on 1, it's only 1 lamp on over there. If you go up to, I believe it's in between 3 and 5, and then you go 6, and you go for the third one, and then you go with the 10, and everything is filled. And of course, if this goes all the way down to 0, no lamps are light up. So this is more like a system that is going to kind of make a stack of lamps, and yeah, it's going to be super cool. And of course, we got the simple ding ding ding, and I mean, the redstone is not that complicated over here, but it was just kind of a small system on how we read these and how we reset everything. Yeah, it works. So these are kind of the two main core system, and we have been working into gathering materials. You can see here the insane amount of redstone links that I have with all the components, and yeah. This was pretty much what I did off camera when I was feeling like super under the weather, and when I got kind of a no brain power for designing anything, I just kind of made this or make this a little bit more kind of a beauty and holding the water there and breaking some parts and making it again. Hopefully it wasn't that bad, but yeah, this is what we have been doing here the whole week. I just already marked where we are going to play for the next week with the redstone. All the brain is going to go out here into that thruster. So for the next week, we are going to work on this big boy, and everything redstone related is going to become inside of that. And as you can see, I just added a little bit more of an itch here, which is, well, I needed to extend the tower here for grabbing the numbers, of course. And yeah, I just added a little bit more of lichen, and it provides a lot more light and also looks a lot more like that guy. So I feel super happy with this. I would say, like, overall, considering how my week went in terms of health and everything, it was super good. And yeah, if you're interested into learning more about this and how we're going to use it and implement it and everything, feel free to drop by on my Twitch. Hopefully this week I'm going to feel way better, and see you there. So bye bye.